Hey, my friend, I'm here talking about what's holding you back from getting where you want to go, from having the life that you want, whether it's business or relationship or anything. Well, we're mostly about getting a 10 out of 10 life in all areas on this channel. So if that's what you're into, you're in the right place. So the way that you achieve anything essentially is you want to get really clear on what it is you want. What is it that makes you get up every morning to work on this thing? Like, why? Right? That's number one. Number two is we want to find the best strategies to get there, the best tools, the best resources. Like, how do we get from here to there? How do I get from no business to thriving business? How do I get from $1 million a year to 10 million a year, or from 100,000 a year to 1 million a year, or whatever it is? What is the strategy that's going to get me there from being fat and sloppy and overweight to being in tip-top shape and perfect health and all of the things? What are the resources? What are the tools? And the third part is alignment. Alignment. So I'll draw this up for you just so you have a visual frame of reference. One is what and why. And then two is how, essentially, right? Strategies, resources, tools. And then three is alignment. And what is alignment? That's the big thing that we're going to talk about today. So what it is we all have this experience, like New Year's resolution. I'm going to get in shape. I'm going to work out. I'm going to get fit and strong and trim down and go down a couple sizes, all of that. And then you don't do it. You don't follow through. This year, I'm going to double my business, and then you don't follow through and you don't do it. This year, I'm going to create the most loving, incredible relationship with so much love and beautiful sex and all the things, and then you don't do it. Why? Because of inner misalignment, cross purposes. There's a part of you that wants it. There's a part of you that don't want it. Anything worth having is going to require some sort of effort or sacrifice on your part. Right? If you want to get super fit, you're going to have to spend time at the gym. You're going to have to forego some of the desserts, or just eat less, or fast for longer periods and go hungry for a bit, whatever it is. There's going to be some effort that you're going to put in, and that might be something that you don't want to do. But there's also things like upper limits. There might be a belief that, oh, if I have that, then I'm going to be disloyal to my family, or I'm going to be outshining some other person that is then going to look at me funny, and then I'm going to feel awkward. All of these kinds of limiting beliefs, or I'm not the kind of person who does that, who has that, who succeeds, like I'm not worthy, I don't deserve it, all of that stuff. So what I want you to do is think about what it is that you are looking to achieve, what is the outcome that you want, and then list all the reasons why, all the limiting beliefs you have about why that can't happen. Just write them out. One of my core sort of persistent stories that I would tell myself is, I did it wrong. Like, I took too long to build my business. I broke up with my ex-wife in the wrong way. I screwed up in some way as a father, as a husband, as a person, as a son. Like, I fucked it up. I did something wrong. And then that would then manifest in all kinds of other ways. Like, I should have had this result sooner, whatever it is, any kind of area. Something that I see a lot of people feel, a lot of my clients, a lot of the coaches that we serve on Simplero have this thing, oh, I should be further along. I should be making more money. I should have more clients. Like, it shouldn't be this hard. I'm behind. Or you put out content and you're like, nobody cares about me. Nobody's going to listen to me. I haven't achieved enough to deserve people's attention. All of these stories, I want you to write them all down and just look at that list and be like, oh, great. These are just stories. They're just stories in your head, right? They're just thoughts. They're not even fucking your thoughts. Like, there's nothing original about any of these thoughts. These are all just some thoughts that you picked up from someone somewhere, whether you read them somewhere or a parent said them. And so they just like pop into your head. And maybe there's like a chemistry in your brain that says, oh yeah, we like this. And so it'll keep you stuck in that place. Like, our brains work that way, right? Where we have certain emotional places that we go to. We like to feel unworthy or exhausted or depressed or whatever, because it's familiar. And maybe it's a way that we get connection with ourselves. Maybe it's a way that we get significance. Oh, look at me. I'm so traumatized. Like, see, I'm so special. And that gives us a sense of significance. Or it gives us a sense of certainty that we can always go there. And we know that that feeling is going to give us the exact same thing every single time. We'll tend to be addicted to certain emotional states. And these thoughts are the things that trigger those emotions so we can feel the same way again and again and again. And the problem, of course, is that those emotional states might not be helpful to where we want to go, to the life that we actually want to live consciously. Your brain will pick up on a thought that might be floating in the area, in the ether, and then somehow like gets lodged in your brain as like, oh, your brain hooks on into it and be like, yeah, I like this thought, yeah. But really it's making you depressed inside. Being aware of them is a good first step. The second step is say them in a funny voice. I should be further along. I'm behind. I failed. I did that. I did it wrong. I should be further along. I feel. The more you do silly stuff like that, you break the pattern. We live in prisons made of words, and words are just sounds. So by taking those words and mixing them up, saying them backwards, saying them in a silly voice, saying them super fast or super slow. I did it wrong. I did it wrong. I should be further along. I'm behind. I'm behind. I did it wrong. And all of a sudden you hear those sentences come into your head and you're like, this is dumb. This is silly. There's nothing to it. If they pop up in the future again, you say them in another stupid way. Another thing you can do is you can look at what is the cost of this? Like if you had this belief and you held onto it for another year, 5 years, 10 years, what would the cost of that be, right? What would it actually cost you to stick with this belief for another 10, 20, 30, 50 years? Is that worth it to you? Or would you be willing to just let it the fuck go? Give it the fuck up. Just let go of that story. It literally has nothing positive to offer you. The thing to recognize with beliefs is like, say, like, I should be further along. Is that true? Is it true that you should? Like, what does that even mean? Who decides should? We don't know. It means nothing. Yeah? So is it true? Nah, probably not really, because like we don't even know what it means. Well, how does it make you feel? It makes you feel, small. And does it make you do more of the things that you need to do to get further along? Like to build your business, get more clients? Probably not. Probably not. If you couldn't think it, would that make you more likely to create more content, advertise more, put yourself more out there, have more loving, healthy relationships, be in a better body? Like, would it? Might be, or just like feel better, right? The thing about beliefs is recognizing that most of them, we have no way of knowing if they're true or not. What you can ask yourself, is it helpful or not? Is it useful or not? And you get to choose the beliefs that you want. You can eradicate beliefs that are not helpful by doing what we've been doing, and you can install beliefs that are helpful. And one of the core ways of doing that is incantations, where you say it over and over again with conviction, full body, like use your voice, use your body, and you kind of wire it in your nervous system. Just by questioning it and really getting that it's a ludicrous thought starts the process. Maybe a better belief is, I've done everything right. Everything I did was the best that I knew how to do in that moment. Like, what else would it be other than right? Everything that you've done up to this moment is right. How does that feel? I have done everything right. I've done everything right. I have done everything right. Use your body, use your voice, get it in your nervous system. Own it. Feel how that feels. If something pops up, there's like, no, but what about this? Then you look at that. You can look at that. Is that true that I fucked this thing up? Did I know better at the time? No, I didn't. So is it true that that was wrong? Well, wrong usually means that you look back at it. Being the person that you are today, you look back at it and you see, well, that's not what I would have done today, knowing what I know today, being the person I am today. But you weren't that person then. right? And we want it to be true in every moment in your life that you're always better, smarter than you were the moment before. You want to keep learning, keep growing. That's called life. It's called growth. It's called learning. It's called the way it's supposed to be. But that doesn't make it wrong. It's so important that you get this, that you stop chastising yourself for shit you did in the past. Because if you think you did something wrong in the past, guess what? You might be scared that you could do something wrong right now. But if you absolve yourself of that guilt, then you know that you can't fuck this up. There's nothing that you can do right now that's going to be wrong. Because you can only do the best that you can possibly do right now, given your resources, given your beliefs, given your mindset, given your energetic state, given everything. You can only do the best that you can do right now. And hopefully, when you look back in a month or 6 months or a year or 5 years or 10 years, you're going to look back and be like, oh my God, so how silly I was. I didn't know shit. And that's how it should be. There is so much upside to life. There's so much potential. There's so much possibility in every area of your life. And this is accessible to you. And it's all on the other side of the things that are holding you back, which are limiting beliefs. It can be low energy in your body, so you need to build your body. It can be stuck emotions in your body, feelings that you weren't able to process at the time, so now you need to go back and feel them so that you can be free and get it out of your system. It can be energetic blocks, entanglements. All of these are things that can hold you back and that kill the alignment in the forward momentum. And this, in my experience, is by far the most important work that you can do, because that is the stuff that's going to keep you stuck. No matter what strategies or tools or goals or whatever you have, you're not getting anywhere, because all of the unconscious portion is a million times more powerful than the conscious part of you. Imagine if you had to consciously beat your heart, consciously digest all your food, consciously take up the oxygen from each breath of air. Thank God we don't have to do that, because we have an unconscious mind that manages all of this stuff for us, that just does it for us. We want to wire the nervous system, the unconscious mind, so that achieving our outcomes become easy. So figure out what helpful beliefs would actually get you where you want to go, and not just achieving for the sake of you, because once you get good at achieving, you realize that that's never going to fill you up. What fills you up is the growth, the person that you're becoming, and being able to contribute and give to others. That's what it's going to nurture you long term. The goal is not about the goal, it's about who you become in the process of achieving the goal. It's the challenge that helps you grow. We always grow through challenges. That's the essence of the hero's journey. There's something about ordinary world that's broken that calls us to adventure. And we're like, I'm not going to do it. I'm going to refuse this adventure. I don't want to do it. But then eventually we do, and we grow so much through this process and we become a different person. Decide that you deserve this, that you are worthy of having everything that you desire. Just because you are who you are, decide that, choose that. If that's something that you can get behind, subscribe to this channel, hit the bell for the ding, for the notifications, and tell all your friends, and let's get this fucking thing. It's amazing what we can accomplish if we can just get our heads together and get organized around it. All right, that's it. Have a great one. Bye-bye.